Okay, folks, so I have been going through a few of the documents, and I haven't really drawn a whole lot of conclusions yet. I started reading one of Brendan Dassey's appeals against Kaczynski. Kaczynski, yes, the little politician who couldn't. Am I the only one that finds it really fucking interesting that he gets assigned to Brendan Dassey's case immediately after losing a primary for a Chief Justice seat for the state of Wisconsin? And throughout the entirety of his representation of Brendan, he is basically working for the prosecution because, guys, the prosecution's entire case rested on Brendan Dassey's confession because, yeah, there was blood in the car, and yes, Teresa Halbach's bones were found on his property, and yes, the key was found in his house, but all of that evidence was severely compromised, which means that it was considered circumstantial evidence. The chain of possession was fucked to shit, and all of a sudden, Brendan comes along like a miracle, and they get a confession, and yay. Except for one minor problem. Kaczynski, the day he's assigned this fucking case, he makes a statement to the media basically stating that his client is guilty. He's telling them, yes, he did this and he is morally and legally responsible, but he was led on by, for lack of a better term, pure evil. And the thing is, he hadn't even met with Brendan yet. He hadn't met with him. I mean, I have never heard of a defense attorney straight up admitting his client was guilty. And I actually have a buddy who's an attorney. He represents the lowest of the low, but they pay well. And even he will not admit ever when a client of his is flat out guilty. And I find it really, really strange. And then on top of that, what really fucking pissed me off was when he's talking to the reporters and the reporter says, well, but his mother or an attorney weren't present at the time that he was questioned. Is that common? And he says, oh, yes, it's quite common. And that's total bullshit. It's not common. And even if it happens, it's not admissible in court as evidence because he didn't have representation. And how Kaczynski can justify to the media, oh yeah, it's quite common, it's very common, I will never know. And then all of these uncounseled interviews with police and his own investigator, all of that evidence should have been thrown out. Evidence, because personally, I'm sorry, but I believe that Brendan Dassey's entire statements incriminating himself are bullshit. And the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution allows him to not say anything that could potentially incriminate himself, but these cops are coercing him into talking. He obviously doesn't want to answer these questions. And, well, I don't even think that it was so much that he didn't want to answer them as he couldn't answer them because none of it was fucking true. The fuck? I mean, the appellate court stated that Brendan Dassey's mental capabilities were not enough to prove diminished capacity. But the boy didn't even know what the word inconsistent meant. I'm sorry, but if you don't know what the word inconsistent means, obviously you are going to be very easily manipulated. And that's exactly what happened. And, Kaczynski, and even his subsequent trial attorney, I can't remember his fucking name to save my life at the moment, failed to introduce readily available evidence of the confession's unreliability. And that alone is bullshit. He never said anything to the jury or to anybody else about, well, he was questioned 4 times over the course of 48 hours. Each interview lasted upwards of 4 to 5 hours. This is a kid who his entire life revolves around a Nintendo. And I'm sorry, but, at a certain point, you just start telling them what they want to hear because you want to get the fuck out of there and get home to play Super Mario Kart. And you know, it's funny because now, after the release of the documentary, the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department is really sort of inconvenienced. They keep saying that they're subject to lies, rumors, and threats. And to that, all I got to say is, how does it feel, boys? You fucking didn't mind doing it to Brendan and to Steve. You didn't mind making sure that everybody heard all the worst possible shit you could think of about Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. And now you want to be pissed off that you're getting a little tit for tat, which probably is the only tit you've gotten for a while. I mean, seriously, you're going to sit there and you're honestly going to be upset about getting the same treatment that you gave to two defendants that all of you know you fucking railroaded. I want to get you guys in a court. I really do. I would love to be the fucking lawyer on that case because I would nail you to the fucking wall. Then Robert Hermann, who's apparently now the sheriff of Manitowoc County, he of the Oscar for the Blue Ribbon. He believes that the documentary was biased and that the filmmakers should be ashamed of themselves. Oh, poor Mr. Hermann. You don't seem to mind fucking bias when it's on your side. You hypocritical piece of shit. How the fuck did you even get to be sheriff? Oh, that's right, elections. And yeah. Sorry, buddy. No. No, 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 no. I do not even see how the fuck you can justify that statement to the press. You railroaded these boys. Your entire investigation was biased from day one. You were laying in wait for 2 fucking years after Stephen Avery got out of jail. You guys were laying in wait, just waiting for an opportunity to nail him. And then that opportunity came along because it's a small town. And you used every dirty, nefarious trick in the book to railroad him and to railroad his nephew. Because what do you fucking care? It's just a couple of Averys in prison jumpsuits. Never mind about the truth. Never mind about the law. But, you know, bias is good when it's for you, but you don't like anything being biased against you. I say again, Sheriff Hermann, release the case file. Fuck, send it to me. I'll pay postage. That's my challenge to you, Sheriff Hermann. Send me a copy of the case file, all 24 boxes. I will send you a fucking check for the shipping. And let me go through it. Let me go through it. Completely unbiased, I promise. Unlike you, I know how to hold up my sworn oaths. And I will present a fair analysis of the evidence in question. And let's see if it holds up. Sheriff Hermann, Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department, I challenge. Send me the case file. Send me the case file. Send me pictures of the evidence and let me go through it. And see what happens. If it turns out that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey are guilty, I will admit it on video wearing a bikini. If they're not, you dismiss all charges and you set them free. That's my challenge to Manitowoc County and the state of Wisconsin. Let's see if you can pony up. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in my next video.